If you didn't know, Nissa is probably my favourite Planeswalker. It's pretty really close, but I actually have a Nissa Vassal to EDH deck. We do have a new Nissa here as well. Unfortunately, he's lost a spark. I think that's what happened here. But Nissa Resurgent Animist, 2 and a green, legendary creature, Elf Scout, 3/3. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color, so kind of that Lotus Cobra style ability. Then, if this is the second time this ability is resolved this turn, reveal cards at the top of your library until you reveal an elf or elemental card. That card into your hand, and then the rest go on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's a card advantage engine. The Lotus Cobra ability does help to ramp you up, kind of fixing your mana as well, and then you've got a couple of different ways you can build around it. What we decided to go here is go all in on the elementals package, and so we have a bunch of elementals with the, obviously, we've got our Omnath, we've got our Risen Reef, the main draws to this, and then we've surrounded that with our kind of typical, like, 4 color cards. We're playing Gigant for 2. Let's go through the list bit by bit then. So the early elementals. Leafkin Druid, obviously, comes down on 2 mana. Accelerates you, later on attacks for 1 mana, that's fine. It maybe blocks a bit, but hey, we want cheap elementals so we can trigger our Risen Reefs later on in the game when we're finding them off Nissa, that kind of thing. We also have Blanchwood Prowler, 1 and a green for a 1/1. Enter the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among the cards milled this way into your hand. If you don't, it gets a counter, but hey, we're largely using this as a way, hey, this is something you can play early, find a land. Later on, that land might trigger one of these other abilities, and obviously, again, cheap elementals to play, trigger Risen Reef, kind of go off with. We then also have Invasion Attack here. Actually trying this over Bonefisher Giant, it's not exactly the same, but the upside of the battle is definitely there. 1 and a red. When it enters the battlefield, reveal any number of dragon cards in your hand. I can ignore that. Invasion Attack here does X plus 2 damage to any other target where X is the number of cards. So this is 2 damage. And then if we do 5 damage to it, we get to get a Defiant Thundermaw, which is a 4/4 flying trample, and whenever a dragon attacks, including itself, it deals 2 damage to any target. Alright, some nice upside there, but hey, kind of mixing things up a little here. I thought I'd try it out. Then at 3, we've got our 3 copies of Nissa. Risen Reef is the second most powerful elemental, maybe the first really. It's up there. I'm not counting like Maelstrom Wanderer. 1 green blue, 1/1. When it or another elemental enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you put it into the battlefield tapped. If you don't, put the card onto the battlefield and put it into your hand. It's awesome. Accelerates you, ramps you. Obviously, we've got a bunch of elementals surrounding us to kind of trigger it. We can find extra copies of Nissa. It's really, really strong. Alongside that, we've got Fable the Mirrorbreaker. Obviously, incredible red card. Very much a staple of these kind of like 4 color, 5 color Omnath decks. Is doing great things here, but in addition, you can also copying the elementals, obviously really, really powerful. Again, more Risen Reef triggers, all that stuff is awesome. At 4, we've got 4 copies of Omnath Locus of Creation. Yep. ETB, draw a card. Landfall, so we've got a few different things playing to Landfall, which Risen Reef is the other thing, is it does enable really, really well, as long as we've got some Fable Passages in here as well. Gain life, deals damage if you manage to get 3 lands into the battlefield. Kind of hard, but hey, you've got Risen Reefs, that's definitely possible. And then we also have the more interesting, in my opinion, Omnath Locus of Royal. 1 green, blue, red for a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, it does damage to any target equal to the number of elements you control. So it's a way for you to kind of like zap your opponent to finish them off, or also, you know, hey, you kind of like curve out and get to pop one of your opponent's important permanents, which is pretty nice. And then whenever a land enters the battlefield, it gets a counter on an elemental. And if you control 8 or more lands, you also get to draw a card. Nice. Then kind of rounding things out, we've got 2 copies of Elishnorn. Not only does it double all your effects, but it also nullifies your opponents, is really good against a bunch of like things like mono white have no way that's not an enter the battlefield effect to kill your creatures. Brutal Cathar, Ossification, neither of those work, is excellent. Obviously doubles all your lands, also doubles all your landfall triggers as well, for like Nissa, Omnath, that kind of thing. You get to like gain 4 life twice. Get the idea. And then lastly, 4 copies of Leyline Binding. Just super, super efficient removal for pretty much anything. So there are a couple of different ways to build around this. So I've decided to go for a full elemental package here, but if you wanted to be a little sneaky, what you could actually do is go like, okay, I actually want to replace these other elemental cards, like the Blanchard Prowlers, the Leafkin Druids, and these other Omnaths, with like more interaction, and then just play the Risen Reef and the Omnath as your only creatures. And that way Nissa can only find, well, she can find copies of herself, but the only elements you have to hit are Risen Reef and Omnath. You just get to kind of like tutor them to your hand, which is pretty good. The mana base is obviously a little bit of a mess. We have 4 copies of Fable Passage, which is super important for triggering our landfall effects. We have a Zegos Triumph, so we do have the black lands to enable your cheap Leyline Bindings. We have 1 Zagoth Triome, 1 Indartha Triome, 1 Ketria Triome, with 2 Spyro's Headquarters, 2 Jetmir's Gardens, 1 Proving Ground, and then we have 2 Breeding Pool, 3 Temple Garden, 2 Stomping Grounds, 2 forests, a mountain, island, plains, and then an otter warrior. No swamp to find, but that's, I think, totally fine. You should hopefully never be wanting to find it. And getting 1 mana lane bindings is nice. Paying 2 for it isn't that bad, to be honest. The sideboard then, we have a Gigantha, obviously, which does limit your options. First thing we have is 2 copies of Escape to the Wild. To the matches where you need to go big and over the top, Escape to the Wild is really, really important. Things like green, where you're like, okay, they're going to get to do their thing, but we can kind of go over the top of them. We're going to Escape the Wilds, and we're just going to elemental them out, and then finish them off with an Omnath. As the green deck, one thing it doesn't do is gain a lot of life. We have Deafening Clarion for the aggro matchups. 4 Mystical Dispute, fairly self-explanatory, blue decks, etc. Knight of Autumn here. A bit of a catch-all, comes in against aggro as well, like alongside, obviously that's where the Deafening Clarion's coming in, but also like decks with problematic artifacts, enchantments, it's excellent, and then obviously 3 copies of Rest in Peace for things like Greasefang, other graveyard stuff. You want to draw into it, you do have tons of ways to kind of draw cards and get through your deck, hopefully you find your Rest in Peace, but yeah, you want to absolutely shut them down, because you don't have a ton of interaction for the kind of like Greasefang combo in your main deck. You have Leyline Binding, that's fine, the invasions aren't getting you anywhere though, so you're kind of relying on just these. So, that's the deck. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And we're going to hop into some best of 3 rounds games. Alright, here we go. It's times like these that I kind of lament not having Bringslight in the format. Again, Wizards, please, please, please. On the cards that I most want. This looks fairly solid. We've got good mana, Branch of Fallon to find us more lands if you want it, Omnath, Fable. Like, we actually get to play on curve, which is, you know, can be a rarity in this kind of deck. Go ahead and keep this. On the Platey. Front is mulliganed. Yeah, there are a couple of different builds. Interesting. I've also seen some lists with Wish, which is a card that I really want to try and play some more of, one way or another. Has a lot of possibilities and doesn't get played very often. Presumably mono green, but like could be something else still. Could be fire rigging, elves, that kind of thing. Get the stomping ground down now, just make the Planetary Prowler. I think so. Oh. Okay, Fable's nice. So we've got 4 lands. Well, these aren't actually cast on there. So maybe we... no, that's alright. White, green, red, blue. We're good, we're good. Look ourselves... It's just a really slow green hand. So, what does this look like? We can go Nissa, and then, like, next turn go Fable? Or do we want to wait till Omnath? We can have an Omnath this turn. Omnath is going to be better than going Fable into it. I kind of like the idea of just jamming Fable. This is the new thing, but Fable's still just great. Alright, getting it flipped is going to be pretty solid too. Okay, so Khan on 4.
I will not stop.
They're gonna minus. We have to kill a Khan for sure. They put a land 2. It's the only 2 up here. I'm interested. Oh, Citadel, okay. Discarding cards. Like green. We can save ourselves some life on the Temple Garden maybe. Kind of fine checking away the extra copy of Fable here. I think I'm happy to pitch these 2. Alright, extra Fable is pretty nice. It makes sense to just slam the Omnath this turn. Shut this down. We can get Omnath. We have lands as well, right? Make Omnath Nissa. I exposed here for having not actually played much of the full color deck. We hit a land. Ooh. Interesting. Yeah, we just want to get the Nissa. Oh, they're gonna scoop it up. Okay, that's fine. I'm tagging a little bit. We sack this, get the Nissa into play. Maybe search for Gigantha if you've got mana. Which we don't. But hey, you get the idea. That's fine. Versus green, we want these to escape the worlds. Like I said, you need to kind of be able to go over the top. The other thing is that we need as much interaction to slow them down as possible. And so that's where The Mighty Worms come in, you can snipe off like some of their enchantments. Whether that be Wildwood, I can't remember, the 2-mana enchantment, or like something like a troll that's like sat around. And obviously can't use a part of that. So what are we cutting though? The invasions are important to give us a way to zap the elves down. Honestly, seems fine. I do like Omnath. I don't know if we need multiple copies. Hellish Dawn steps things in. Shutting down a bunch of that antibacterial stuff is really, really strong. What I actually hate, like, Prowler is very underwhelming. It's like we need to block. Finding the land is good, but we should be kind of safe there. I want to cut one more card. It might just be only bringing 2 knights. Downsides of playing the 60-card version and not the Orient version, I guess. Yeah, this seems fine. I have a like Sark and Dragons list as well with the invasion, if that's of any interest to you, anybody. Yeah. Well, we got our mana. I don't know, mulligan this. I'm gonna look for something a bit more. Ooh, okay. This has the makings of. Right. Do you put the Druid back? We want to keep Hellish Dawn. Maybe we do put the Druid back. Yeah, turn 1. Turn 2 you can make the Druid though. Definitely not putting the land back. Or we do put a land back. Rely on hitting them from Leaf Kindred. This is maybe greeting a bit too hard with Double Risen Reef. I think I'm actually going to put Sable Passage back. Or the draw as well. I think I'm kind of fine with this. We're needing like Triumph into Leaf Kindred. Well, we hit a land anyway, so I feel not too bad about it, but hey. I'll be pumping the fish yet. Oh, Great Troll, okay. Omnath. Neat. Oh. We might want to. If we get a chance to. I'll be surprised if we actually get a chance to save the Otawara, but. Okay, we'll live with it. For now. 3. What do they have on 4? Haven into. Okay, Elves isn't too bad. Like, Kiori obviously with Haven is really nice. Also, it means that the Overwatch Troll becomes a lot more devastating. Sure. Okay. The extra reef? That's super close. We've went. If they're attacking with elves, maybe they don't have anything to do. They have 1 card left. No, my luck it is a Storm the Festival, but hey. I'll take actions to play. No attacks. We'll block a land or off. They're so inclined to do that again. Sadly, not a land that makes us. Okay, Cavalier's not the end of the world. Could find something like Necklace though. Could also put Storm into their graveyard, but not this time. Finds a Besiju. I'll let the Troll through. I'll block here again. Right. Do we draw? That cuts us off. I'm gonna lead with this. There's no way we get up to enough creatures, right? Next time do you get to make Hellish Dawn? Alright, there's an Omnath. There's a Fable. This is close to having a double mana, isn't there yet? Maybe have to put something in front of the Cavalier. There's so much mana though. Oh, Khan's not good. So Khan, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. 5. Sky Sovereign's pretty good here, actually. That actually kills us very quickly. Yeah, okay. Fair. Are they gonna kill a reef or are they gonna kill a leaf into it? We can always a reef. So we have. We need to block something here because the Sky Sovereign's gonna kill us. No matter what. We go Omnath, gain 4. that how this works out? Let's see what we draw. If we draw a land or a leyline binding, this looks a bit different. This is currently doing 2 damage. Isn't even enough to shoot the card down. We have to play Omnath and pray. Does that even go? It's better than playing Alishan. I don't think there's anything even good enough for us to hit here. Yeah. That'd be good next time. Just for life. Up to 10. This blocks here? It's taking 6. No, it doesn't get to blocks, it gets to towers. We'll pass back. Make our opponent free. Prep my concede button. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they're just gonna make portal, okay. Let's go to game 3. Is there something I'm happy cutting for the Night of Autumn? Is there something? I do want it. I want it. Having the extra copy of Omnath I think is worth it. I don't want to cut Nissa. I maybe should do. Echelon's also great. This feels wrong. Alright, don't hate me. Two Night Worms is probably fine. We want to play. It's a slow start, but we have Reef into Omnath. Sort of. In tricky manner. I'm afraid of mulling into Black. 1, 2, 3. We go 1, 2, 3. We have no interaction with them at all, though. I think we need to mulligan. This doesn't look fantastic, but I think is actually, like, hidden pocket OP. Excuse me. We'll do this. To weigh the merit of holding onto this Fable versus the merit of having untapped lands. This makes it feel a little bit better, maybe. But, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and invasion this off the board. It's why they're still in the deck. We need answers for the elves. Goes the Atoras into that. Oh. Well, we get to shoot the elf with this, maybe. We'll see what happens. This needs to find blue mana for that to happen. So, 1, 2, 3. Play this. Green. Shooting the elf is pretty good here, actually. 3. Blue. Red. Yeah, we don't get that mana wise. This bar attack was on next turn. We do, I think, need to take the action here, get rid of this. Unfortunately, we have to burn the Fatal Passage, but I think we have to. Grab the island. We'll go ahead and shoot this. Also closer to Leaf Kindred having for mana, but hey. Get rid of that. Thanks. I'll be totally honest, I don't play a ton of these kind of like 4 color, 5 color decks. So, okay. At me if I'm punting horribly. Right, so we have Nissa. 1 land drop currently. But also potentially grab. We can think about cycling this, we have our colors. Sadly not an elemental. Okay, we have the Nykthos, which is now making 6 mana, which is the number. Power this up. Add this? I think that's better than Cycling Gigantha now. Yeah, this is a game in which we're going to have to try and go over the top of what they're doing. Assuming that they have a Storm the Festival, but I think that's kind of given. Omnath's also a way we can trigger this, which is thing. I mean, we'll still use this. But... Alright. There is the Storm Festival. This is the part, the bit in the monogreen matchup where you're like, okay, right, just throw at me, please. This pops off after enchantments. That's actually, well, I guess leyline binding, but at the moment isn't the worst for us. Elf. I do get to kind of pop off with this though, right? You get to find a bunch of cards. Oh, this is lands to play. Think we take the damage this time? I hope to not do that again ever. Maybe I'll care about. This is a 5/7. Doesn't really get bigger. Stomping around. We'll lead with that. If we lead with this, then we can run away. You make obviously this is a 5/5. We can make this a 5/5, which blocks these things. It's still behind versus these. Oh gosh. 3. Yeah, it's gonna really get done with the Risen Reef. Let's cycle this, see what we hit. That kid? No. You make this a 5/5. Mm. Alright. Seems to be a ramp. I was so excited to shoot the alpha one. Yeah, without other Omnath and Resurgent Reef, I struggle a bit. If you think about the kind of advantage we would have with either of them, it's pretty great. But if I just really like coming with another turn here, and it depends on the attacks our opponent decides to risk making. Yes. 60 mana with Nykthos. Alright. Yeah. The one thing with Nissa is that with only Fable Fast, it's just kind of the only fetch land. It's a little tricky. Maybe could try like playing like an extra terminal. Okay, yeah. That is good game. Alright, let's hop into another match here. Another match. That was a little tough. Alright, tough loss to Mono Green. Yeah, it's a rough one. I think that if you're playing the less creature heavy version of the deck, with like just the Nissas, the Omnath and the Risen Reefs, you maybe have more interaction to kind of slow them down a bit. But also, either way, you're really relying on kind of popping off with Escape the Wilds with Risen Reef and Omnath Locus of Creation to win. We just didn't draw those, unfortunately. Fairly solid opening here. Like if we get to turn 2, we can draw it into turn 3 Fable. Work out which one lands we want to play. And actually, because we've got Breeding Pool and Island, we want to leave Jetmare Garden. Alright. I looked up for a second and was like, oh, not another Mono Green deck, but this appears to be Red Green Boats. There is a Meglos, which is interesting. You can just go ahead and get rid of that. I can't. Actually, there is the Meglos on turn 2 here. There's also like an answer to leyline binding, which is a thing. And then we get to turn 3 Fable. The Leak and not casting the Leak and Drill on card is, I think, fine. One of the nice things about it is that it does let you like turn 4, play Omnath, and then a land. But hey. Alright, Chariot. So far, standard-ish stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and Fable. I'm gonna want to try and loot towards our pair of cards as fast as possible. To hit a Omnath or a Risen Reef. Soon TM. I guess we're kind of like, that's what we're trying to do in all the matchups. But hey. We're gonna crew up, we're gonna take a bit of a hit here. See what else they have. They maybe just have another one. Be awkward. See. Elf and... So, one interesting thing is that they didn't add Gigantha, which makes me think that maybe they have like a MTG. But they could just be just not adding it. I damage cashing the Spyro's headquarters now. Need a Temple Garden. Keeping a land around. Branch of Prowler finds this one. I think getting rid of both lands is kind of... No, actually I think this is fine. Okay, we did not draw into one of our payoffs. We can go second Fable, in which case, like, I guess we threaten a double block, but I don't think anyone's buying it. We can attack here and then play, like, Fable plus a Prowler. We get another set of draw discards. Or Fable plus with the Leaf Grandeur, which at least blocks one of the cats. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. That hopefully means we get to block an extra cat. Love that. All about that. Let's make a Fable. And then Leaf Kindred being an 0-3 is actually kind of nice here. We get another set of loots towards Risen Reef Omnath things. We shall see. It could also just be a bonus giant. It is a Beseiji. My inkling was correct. We do get a search, which is pretty nice. I'm gonna find... probably... it might just be Aspira's headquarters, honestly. We don't have a black land in play yet. Black, green, white would be reasonable. The mountain, right? Yeah, let's do this. This makes our Leyline Bindings down to 1 mana. So we now have to be much more careful about this thing. 4, 8. There's a 6 here. Maybe block one of these. This can pump itself. Does it give itself trample? No, Vision's a menace. Let's put this here. Does some damage. I was just playing the 2 different styles of Llanowar Elf, so I was like, this isn't enchantment, so how is it? Alright. Ottawa is kind of interesting. You flip one of these. I want to do this. Cash in another Spyro's headquarters. Alright, we have Omnath. Ooh, interesting. Play this out. Then we can go Risen Reef, and if we hit a land, we can Prowler as well. We have a chance. That is a land. Take action. Give me that mana. Having an extra blocker is probably better than adding Gigantha. This also finds us another land from that next turn. Finding Fable Passage is even better. Double check we've not milled through our basic. We have red and white flying, and that is A-OK. Right, we should deliver a little. We also get to like Reflection Reef next time, which is pretty awesome. Alright, we have to decide how we're blocking though. There's like a very, very small chance they Ember Cleave, but almost certainly not. More likely they have like Sky Sovereign to shoot the Risen Reef down. Again, I think this is the correct block. I think we just no blocks on these things. See how that works out. They're gonna scoop it up, yeah. It's gonna be really hard to win through another turn of us doing things here. So, I want these Deafening Clarions. They are not perfect. There's a pile of stuff that they don't deal with, but they do deal with like elves, Bone Crusher, other bits and pieces. Other than that, obviously we want these 3 copies of Knight of Autumn, Blow Up Chariot, their own yeah. In terms of what we are cutting, there's a matchup where Nissa is a little weak. I cut 1. I want to keep them in. Similarly, like we need this Omnath. I'm gonna go down numbers here, and then I feel like would probably want to go again. Just like blocks around a little bit. This does get guaranteed land drops. Well, I shouldn't say guaranteed. We should just miss with it earlier, but yeah. The other thing is we're boarding some sweepers in. It is the quote-unquote weakest card. See what they opt to do. The other thing that's worth noting is that Nissa, while good, is not as good as it is in like modern, obviously without all the fetch lands. We've only got a couple here. Ooh, Leyline Binding's good. We've got Knight of Autumn as well. This looks great. This looks great. Work out how we want to deal with 2 battle plans. We want to make sure we leave with a garden here, just in case we draw the land to kind of set us up for a turn 2 Leyline Binding. This actually does this change anything? I don't think so, because we still get all the colours off the breeding pool. Then we just need to find a black source to make the Leyline Binding 1, but that is reasonable. They have an elf start, which is, you know, good for them. Completion Forest on turn 1 sounds like they have a land-light hand, though maybe they just have red lands. Maybe like Sakens and that kind of thing. Invasion of Ixalan. Interesting. I have a red-green like value list with like a bunch of invasions and other cool stuff. Escape the Wilds, adventure cards, which I like, but it's let me know if you're interested in that, because it's not like I don't know. People don't get that excited about Gruul, for whatever reason. But the deck is super sweet. It spins wheels and eventually beats down. Alright, Sky Cell Red. That's a good one, to be fair. Ooh, okay. Given the option to kill this, then make Reef after, I think we should just take the option here. Keeps them off a turn 3 Chariot, which is big, and then also slows them from casting the Sky Sovereign. And again, they let the Completion Forest into Mountain. They may just not have a 3rd land, but that would be a wild Invasion of Ixalan. They just don't have one, and they didn't hit. Okay, but Seiju, so they are land light, sure. Adjugantha. Yeah, this is... Don't do that. Sequencing. It's Risen Reef. Okay, we draw the Deafening Clarion. Doesn't get revealed, thankfully. That's not how this works. But, to be fair, they've not really showed us anything that dies to it. Which is fair enough. This probably just gets shot down. Yeah, this isn't a braid. That is okay. Alright, we have a pile of different things going on, but I think the option is to just make Fable for now. And then we can use this to... Ooh, don't crash, please. Loot towards Omnath and friends. There, screw up. Yeah, they just got stuck on lands. That's pretty unfortunate. But hey, we will take it. Alright, see you in the next game. Alright, 3rd match. Get to be on the play. Catchy Triumph, Zaga Triumph. We have a Branch of Prowl that maybe carries us through this, especially on the play. I keep it. Got a lot of stuff going on. if we hit a land. Yeah. Unfortunate for our red-green opponent though, but I think that's... Well, hey. Happens. There's also blocks. Red, white humans? It could also be 4-color. I'm trying to think what the red be for. Tajik. There's some other incentive that I'm forgetting. It didn't hit a land. That mills us towards a land. That's a win. We also did hit a third one. Like, we could have sequenced the other way around and made sure we got the Risen Reef on turn 3, but I think making sure we get the land, and also, like, you know, the block is nice. Oh, okay. Worthy Knight's interesting. There have been some new Knight cards, so maybe that's where we're at. We're kind of price into making Risen Reef. They're not willing to attack into this. So it implies that they're going to have some other stuff going on. Alright. Desperately need a white source. We can start Leyline Binding. Maybe we even get to Echelon before we do that, but hey. We're going to get swarmed a little bit by knights here. They have a lord. Okay, so they're playing red for like Fervent Champion. Is this... Wait, red, okay. Fine. I'm not willing to make that double block. Was he 6 though? Yeah. This first strike as well? No, it's just a buff. No blocks this turn. Jeez, that's fast damage. Okay, this is important. Having a white source. Why don't we go to Omnath now and then next turn? Or we don't go Omnath now? Maybe the Risen Reef trigger as well. We're not we gain life if we hit the Risen Reef. Or we're like casting Leyline Binding, which is fine. I think we make Omnath. Our path to victory involves Omnath being in play. Alright, 2 triggers. Alright, okay. Ooh, that's the wrong order. No attacks. If we draw a Fable Passage, we can make Elesh Norn Leyline Binding kind of pop off a little. That is going super, super wide. Right, we're at 12. If we block a 6, we're taking 5, 4. We can block these two. We're still rolled. 5, 4, 5, 4, 4, 4, 5, 13. Needed to hit a land here. Shutting off. It leaves the Worthy Knight in play. It doesn't feel great. I still have this anyway. We have to. We were dead. Alright, Deafening Clarion. I'm gonna bring the knights in. They block and stuff. This is unfortunately a matchup where, like, if we're doing Nissa things, we are so far ahead it doesn't even matter. So having it in the deck is kind of suspect. We do not have time to be messing around with that. And then I like the early creatures because, like, blocking is super important. We need to cut some stuff. I think Omnath might be the one. We can shoot off things, but I don't think it's worth it. So hey, we're cutting a lot of the kind of fun stuff, but that's fine. Nissa is good. Just not versus aggro. It's a 3/3. It blocks. Okay. It is a little fancy. Okay, got a 6. Branchwood Prowler, Leafkin Druid. We're on the play. We have a couple of draw steps. We have, like, mana, which is just decent. One of these Fabled Passages goes on the bottom. Yeah. We're leading Jetmare Gardens. That was a really... Well, I was gonna say that's a really fast draw from them, but it wasn't even that fast. They have faster, I think. This deck is really sweet. There are a few new Knight effects for the Worthy Knight, but I'm not really seeing them all like kind of come together like this. They're also like they're still playing Recruitment Officer, which is not a knight, but like favorite championship, all the stuff. That's all reasonable. You take 2 to play. You can Druid. And say no. I think we just play the Otawara out. All right, let's see how they are. Again, Leaf Kindred can block a bit. We have some choices this turn. We can go tap. Would like to draw one of our payoff cards. If they make a Thalys Lieutenant, we're in pretty big trouble. You also say this is cycle. You can go make 2 things. I know if I'm gonna play this down to Prowler, we're just gonna get stuff. If we follow the board, to be fair, we get the Leaf Druids online, which is maybe huge worth. Kind of planes. I'm able to do an invasion and a fable. Obviously, the invasion would be really nice to have right now, but okay, we'll see how this works out. Another Worthy Knight, so going super wide. We do have Clarions in the deck. Okay, let's try to think about how the mana will work here. And we'll have the planes to play anyway. Obviously, this does time the Leaf Kindred's online. Okay. Green, 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 white. The plan is just to play this as a 4/4. And then, yeah. Next time we'll be able to add Gigantha and play it. Let's see what they have though. They're operating off of 2 lands. Urban Champion's okay. I'm trying desperately to dodge the Thalys Lieutenant. I say okay, like they're not making like 2 creatures. Damping Sphere is, I think, fine. Like it's not fun, but I think it's alright. Omnath does make things more expensive. Oh, how does that about tax? Okay, we draw another copy of that. We can also play off of that. We already hit 1 land drop, I think. We play Fable here anyway. Yeah, I think getting the extra triggers. Double triggering next turn is probably more important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. We can grab and cast. Oh, we can blow up. Let's pop the Damping Sphere. You just tap both of these. I think this is worth. Alright. No attacks. Maybe we should use the passage to make sure that we're always getting the triggers, but we're in a reasonable spot. This This like does let spells do extra damage, which I'm not sure about. Oh, it does prevent damage out to your creatures. Like Clarion here would be worse than it would normally be. Okay. Let's lead with the Gigant. Yeah. Okay, Alishon's good. We can play this and then play the Fable. This also accelerates the clock. Anyway, we just gained a bunch of life here. It's probably better than making it actually fudge. Just gain 4. I have no attacks I would like to make. Again, like, hey, you start getting into problems if they draw Thalia's Lieutenant, but for the time being, we can block on most of their board. This also pumps all their things, all the tokens. So if they want to start making attacks now, or they want to give us more time. They're just going to come in the air. That's fair enough. We go to 29. Okay, Leyline Binding's big. Obviously these things have wards. We want to take these two? That makes the most sense. Maybe I try some spooky stuff. I'm gonna try and do some ambushing. Rather than targeting the knights, I'm gonna get the Vanguard. I'll just get this guy that's preventing them taking damage. Yeah, I want to do that. We'll pay the mana. Fine. I panicked attack for a second. Thought I targeted the same thing twice, but I don't know. Arrows are different. This chunks through a bunch of the tokens. Ooh, okay. Double Dutch. We have been had a little. It's still not the end of the world. Like, we didn't actually sacrifice anything super, like, super amazing. It's certainly annoying. For sure. Babel's fine. We can't really grind through their board though at the moment. Would not be a fun one to do. Okay, Fervent Champion. That's not a Thalia Lieutenant again. We're at 26 now. A lot more creatures again. We have a lot of good draws. We have a lot of good draws. Yeah. Thing. Do I make some stupid attacks again? I don't think so. I'm still gonna hit the two things, so I'm just gonna pass. Cause that's pretty good. It does make human tokens, not knights. That is a lord. Did they make any big attacks? I'm gonna go in with this again. I knew I'm binding. I hit the two lord effects, so I care about this guy. He's actually chipping us down, so I think that is fine. Then this is doing more than this. Take away this. Pay the water cost. Get him out of here. Alright, this transforms. Obviously, once we have the reflection active, we get to kind of go off here, but we do have an elemental in the meantime. Branchel Prowler, Risen Reef things. Hopefully not Millard deck. I'll get the Catcher Triumph. Alright, nice. There's a new LS one. We'll take action, put it onto the battlefield. That'll trigger on there. We get a pile of mana. I'd rather cycle this away. New elemental, new triggers. I'm just going to mill my library, so that's going to happen here. That would be awkward. Because eventually we do find... call it... 19 cards. Eventually we do find Deathwing Clarion and kind of clear up a lot of the, like, dribble drabble here. It does burn some of our stuff. We're not in a position we can actually make attacks yet, which is really awkward. Gonna cast a new Omnath. Keep them on some Mythic one just in case we do draw Deathwing Clarion. I'm just gonna mill myself. Alright, we drew definitely Clarion, but also have Fable and some other stuff going on. Maybe we set up to this next turn. Do any way to make our board bigger. Not in terms of things that aren't going to for us. Okay. That's a go. They're at 12. We have 15 cards in the library, which is great. Coppercoat Vanguard, is that enough damage? They have 8 tokens here. They're maybe going to make the attacks. And then not. Right, okay. Couple of things. Let's go green. Activate this here. I want to put counters on it. And more counters on it. Green. Green. Right, alright. We'll take both of these. Right, we've done the board out a lot, but that is okay. Let's see if we can just move to combat. Yeah. Okay. So, let's get to game 3. This is, yeah, been a bit wild. I think this is still fine. They brought in anything that I'm like, ooh, that's not fun. I don't think so. Like, having an Omnath in the deck is probably nice. That's the only thing I can think of. Especially if we get into boards like that. The Knights have some targets, but not, like, loads. Shout at me again, I'm gonna cut a Fable. Alright. It should have been a branch. It should definitely be a branch for player. What am I even on? Alright. That's fine, that's fine. Okay. We have Invasion, we have Risen Reef, we have lands to cast those cards. We'll keep. We lead with Catcher Triumph. Excuse me. Having Invasion is super nice. If this is a worthy note, I just zap it straight away. If not, maybe I just play a tap land so we can resurrect on time. Like this, I'm not as worried about. It isn't. It's not that it's not. With another untap land, I can see. Just play it while we can fit it into our curve easily. Shock down to 18, Risen Reef into on there. Adeline, how much mana out is okay. Make sure I'm not overstepping red. I need to find white off at this currently. Alright. Oh, is Lieutenant? Yep. Take the 3. The blocks. The 5. Ooh, does this shoot down anything interesting? Not that Omnath doesn't, right? Doing 2 damage. It shoots down the Lieutenant, actually. Maybe we want to hold it to flip the invasion. Does have haste on the back? No. Well, this definitely still wants to find white mana. If we Omnath hit a land, there is reach trigger, then we're in a really nice position. This Omnath doesn't really do much blocking, because this Thousand Lieutenant's guaranteed to be pretty much a guaranteed, like it's very likely to be. I think we just do this. Try and hit off the top to gain some life. We'll take action, put into play. There we go. Alright, we found a Fabled Passage. Nice! We have Rosary for the hand. We're not under huge pressure to keep the one we have in play here. We'll see how it works out exactly. A Tenant here. We should be able to get a reasonable block at least for our Omnath. And it's a case of how much other damage we want to take. They're not going to... Okay, yeah. Smart, they're not going to go for that. 1, 6. Oh yeah, 1, 2. What do things look like if I do not block? I have to play a lot of stuff. You think I'll go to 5 though. Like this eats here. We have 2 landfall triggers. 5. 10 mana. 1, 2 plus this. Alright. I'm gonna block like this. I'm gonna take a lot of damage. Alright. The Leyline Binding gives us some amount of words and things. Insurance. I like to hit a black land, but we can't fetch it anyway. We maybe draw it, but if it's Riven Reef, then we're kind of getting... Go ahead and gain life. I'm gonna... fetch here. Green. Maybe you want the second forest here. Yeah, that's extra mana. Let's use... I'm just gonna add to the control. Try to do this right. We should have Risen Reef first. I would like to use white mana. Alright, another Risen Reef. We'll take action, but this makes the Leyline Binding 1 mana. It's really nice. Let's then Leaf Crown Druid, we green and red. Let's resolve this. Okay, nice. And then play this out with Leyline Binding up. Green, red. Right, this is gonna shoot this Starling's Lieutenant. Now we draw that. Counters here. Alright. I pass with hold the land money up. No attacks. End turn. I will discard a Knight of Autumn. Alright. Sorry, I was a bit slow, but we get there. So we know they have disenchants lying around. That buffs their creatures. But they're behind the mana by a lot now because of all these resurrection triggers. I let them kind of walk through that, but that's, I think, fine. Does grow the Lieutenant. I'm gonna put this here. Then let's keep it up. That is fair enough. Right, I hope you enjoyed this video. This Nissa Elementals deck is super sweet. Pretty awesome, and yeah. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it, etc, etc. Peace.